Don Smith.
And I'm Bill Cartwright. And we've got a great program for you. We'll be visiting the Hance Pavilion, talking to Andy Height, who is president of the Friends of the Hance Pavilion Project. And I think it was a wonderful visit we had.
Yep, and I'm really excited to hear that I heard all about the project. We've already taped the program, and he's done some really great information.
Yep, yeah.
I think you'll all be really interested in what's going on out there. We had an unusual opportunity because we actually could go inside the pavilion, and right now it's pretty much off limits to most people because it's considered unsafe. So,
and I know there's been a lot of questions about what's going to happen with the Hance Pavilion and all that, and I think he'll give you some answers that are hopeful.
So stay tuned for that.
Right.
But first, what have you been doing lately?
Well, our church that I go to, Fields of Grace in Covington, we've been working on a building across the street. It's called The Field, and it's going to be not just for the church, but for the community, for preschool and post-school, after-school things, and like fifth quarter and all that.
LifeWise too, I think.
For Covington, and LifeWise is there. So we've been working on that. So I was painting a big cross that we hung. The cross is probably 8 foot, at least 8 foot long, thereabouts. Anyway, and then doing some boards or for hanging coats and all that.
Oh yeah.
I made about 3 of those, one for three different classrooms that's in there. So I've been busy doing that, and of course working Bethany Center, and that's takes up a lot of time. But
well, you got a new position at Bethany Center now, I noticed.
Yeah.
What are they calling you?
Spoon Master.
So, you'll see more about that in another program. But he's the Grand Master of the spoon.
Of the spoon. Yeah. So if it comes to stirring, I'm your man. But anyway, that's about what I've been doing. Just been busy with that sort of thing, and just family stuff that goes on, and of course my wife's been fiddling around.
She was a little sick there for a day or two.
Yeah, she was. So we're still dealing with that a little bit. She's okay, but
we both got that problem.
Yeah,
right
we do. So anyway, but that's about what I've been doing. How about you? What you been?
Well, it's the same thing. Of course, usually volunteering at the Bethany Center, and lately because Three Joes is closed, Jerry, who's my partner, who we usually take turns every other week. We are the boss, and then let the other person be the assistant. And for the last 3 weeks, he's not been there because he's the head of the committee that's dealing. Well, I guess it's not a committee.
It's a committee of maybe 2 or 3. Yeah.
Well, let's just say he's the boss over at the renovation of the Three Joes, and I know he's going to be off another week or so, and then hopefully he'll be back. We miss him.
Actually, Darla, his wife, she wasn't there last Thursday because of that too, I think.
So
they've been busy.
They're really trying to get that open, and I know in the next couple of weeks it should be open.
It's looking nice too.
Every time I go by, it's really busy over there.
Yeah.
We're working up a storm. So it'll be good to have that back. I don't know how many people say, we really missed Three Joes, and it's only been, 6 weeks maybe a total that it's been closed, but for all of you to know, it will be back. Not
absolutely.
too far into the future. I think it's getting along pretty well.
You know how construction is.
Oh yeah.
They say this long, but it's always longer.
I was smart. There was a time in my life when we had that situation where we had something being done, and it was for Alston Manor, and I had a contract with a gentleman who was doing all the construction work, and I put a time frame ending, and at the conclusion of that time, there would be a charge daily for the days days that were beyond the time. You know, they never missed a day. They got that done right on schedule.
I bet they did.
He came to me about a week before the program, before it was supposed to be done, said, now, you know, we're probably not going to make it in time for the program. I said, or time for, according to the contract. I said, no problem at all. You just take as long as you need, because I know that from that day forward, you're paying me anyway.
Right.
So it'll be fine. Well, next day there was a whole crowd of people.
That's how it works.
So we got her done.
Yep.
But, you know, it's funny because when you're in that construction situation, you know, weather makes a difference and the materials coming in and all the rest of what goes on. But I also had a great visit with the dentist. He helped lighten my checking account by quite a bit. I don't know how you get so many cavities. I was 22 years old before I went to the dentist the first time. I did not have a cavity.
Good for you.
Now I go twice a year, and he found 4 cavities this time.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So what do? They don't say, let's do it in 4 treatments, 3 treatments, or even 2. He said, we'll just take care of them all at once.
All at once, yeah.
And so that meant my whole entire mouth was shot.
No.
I couldn't do anything. I had to look in the mirror to see if my mouth was shut. Because it's almost never shut.
And you don't want to drink when you're all numbed up either.
Oh no,
because it dribbles.
And you know, my mouth's almost never shut, so I had to look, see if I had it shut.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got that accomplished, and now I'm free for another 6 months. And then the Piqua Historic District had a plant sale, and we had that just last Saturday and did okay with it. I wish we'd sold more. We have a few left, so I know that they're still available. But the plants we had, I was really pleased because they weren't bloomed out, which is very good for when you have fall, because if you have them bloomed out at this stage, by the end of September, they're gone.
They're shot. Yeah.
So if they're not bloomed and you can keep them from blooming too quickly, and we get into the really cool weather, then they really hold up for a long time. Yeah. So they were really well set to do all that. But it was something that we did last week, and all the board members and some other volunteers helped us, and we got that accomplished, and we sold them for $11, which was really
That's a really good price.
I know they were more expensive at some of those big box stores around town that we
won't mention any names.
No, we won't mention any place out there where I went to check the price first. We were any good. And then we had yesterday, my family gathered for, I guess we call it a reunion, but the real truth of the matter is it's not much of a reunion anymore, because it used to be at Alston Manor, and it used to be 30, 40 people would show up. Now we're down to maybe 12 because, you know, sadly, as families go along, people die. And now I'm the senior member of the whole thing, which is really scary when you think about it. So anyway, that went on yesterday, and it was a beautiful day. Just the right temperature. I didn't get too hot, didn't get too cold, and there were a couple of people swimming because the reunion is still at Alston Manor. It's just we don't live there anymore. My nephew has that, so that was a really nice event too that we did, and that's about the end of what was going on with us. You know, with all that we do, it gives us purpose, and that's what I think is really important, because, you know, when you're helping somebody else, and, you know, the Bethany Center, and you do it too, and I volunteered a couple other things too, and it just gives you a reason to get up in the morning and to get busy and to feel good about what you do all day long. So, but now I need you to tell us what's going on.
Well, there's
some stuff.
Oh yeah, there's some stuff.
Okay.
So first off, we're going to revisit one. It's been going on since September 5th through September 26th, and that's the Piqua Fine Arts exhibit. So that's you know, you can get...
that's at the Apple Tree.
At the Apple Tree, yeah, and it's stunning artworks, interactive experiences, and opportunities to celebrate and creativity together. So that's still going on.
I got to remember that. That's really a cool thing to do.
Yeah. So that's that. And then, of course, we have our Lock 9 concert series. That's coming up, and this is going to be, as far as I can tell, these will be the last 2 concerts, and that's that's Friday, September 12th, and that'll be Phil Dirt and the Dozers.
Oh boy.
Wow. I don't know where they
I got a
get these
great-grandson who liked that because he likes to play with his little dozer, he's got in the yard.
And then September 13th is the Ultimate Doors with Kashmir. So that sounds like a good group too. But these are the last two concerts coming up. So and that's at Lock 9 concert series there in Piqua. So that's I hear that's been going really well.
Oh yeah, they've had huge crowds for some of them. A couple friends of mine were talking about that and how much they had going on.
Yeah, I know it is. It's really been well received. And then, of course, the farmers market, which I know you've had experience with that. But let me just say, September is the last month for this on Thursdays, 3 to 6, and September 11th, 18th, and 25th. So this is your last chance to get the good produce, and it's been pretty good this year.
Oh my. And the market in general has really developed. I was impressed. I took some pictures that AJ's going to show of things that we saw at the market, but it's become much larger, I think, and a lot more variety of merchandise. And I've got my couple farmers that I talk to every week and buy from them, and it's really makes me feel good to help the farmers, and at the same time, you're getting things that are just picked out of the field.
Yeah, and it's not just produce; it's other things too.
Oh yeah, they have
artsy
flowers,
stuff.
Crafts,
right?
All kinds
of different things.
Desserts, wine from the Versailles wine.
Okay.
It's all there, and meat. They even have meat. It's really a market. I encourage anybody who buys groceries to go to the farmers market on Thursdays, and it's from 2 to 6. It's not bad, and I usually park. I shouldn't tell people where I park because they'll park at my spot, but I park over at Submarine House, that parking lot right there.
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people do.
I take my own little bag and go along and buy the things that we can use for the following week, and so I'm going to really miss it when it's
the produce. Get your fresh produce there. And speaking of farmers markets, Cherry Street Farmers Market, September 13th. It's a Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 in Troy, at Cherry Street, and that's been going on, and that runs through Saturdays through September 27th. So
same thing. Basically.
Time's winding down. Yes, the same thing. It's produce and arts and crafts and things like that.
And just for the end of the month, and then it's over.
Exactly, and then it's over.
Now it's time to get the pumpkins.
Oh yeah, for sure. And some of the other like squash and stuff like that.
I bought eggplant last time.
Did you? Yeah. And then September 13th is Troy, Ohio Porch Fest. I think I mentioned this the last program, but it's put on by the Troy Hayner Cultural Center. All kinds of bands. They have a sheet that you get that lists where all these different bands are, and they're at different houses, and you can walk. It's a walking thing, so you can walk and listen, pick out your bands you want to listen to and go to, and it's just a nice fun time. But there's like 40 plus bands that participate. So that's a lot, and like I say, you don't have to visit them all, but you just pick out the ones you think you might like with the different genres, because there's all different kinds. There's rock, there's country, there's bluegrass, there's all different kinds. So you pick out the one you like, and you can go there and leave a donation if you want, if you like their music or not. But it's free to do. So and that's put on by the Troy Hayner Cultural Center. So we'll have these websites for you at the end of the show. And then another one that's near and dear to me, and you too probably, is the Bradford Railroad Heritage Festival. If you remember, if you're a watcher all the time, we did a program from the Bradford Railroad Museum over in Bradford, and it's a magical place. If you like trains, or if you're a kid, it's just a fun place to go. But this is September 13th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's like I said, at the Railroad Museum in Bradford, 200 North Miami Avenue, Bradford. But it's all kinds of different things there to do, and just all kinds of great exhibits, and it's fun, very educational, very educational.
And my cousin just told me that if I go to Bradford, and he told me how to get to this restaurant, he says there's the best restaurant, breakfast type restaurant there. And
really?
I'm going to take my friend Bob, and one of these days we're going to go over there and scope that out. Maybe stop by the Railroad Museum again too, because it is a great place.
Well, and then this one I'm sure you'll participate in.
Okay.
It's the Great Miami Riverway Half Marathon.
Oh yeah, I'll be out there running.
Anyway, that's coming up. That was I remember doing this last year. It's the website's greatmiamiriverway.com, but it's a half marathon. Starts in Troy, and it goes through, and it ends up in Piqua. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And a lot of people like to run half marathons, because a lot of people, it's hard to run a whole marathon. That's a long way. But half marathons are fun, and it should be there. It's their 11-year award for a special.
How many miles is a half marathon? Do you know?
Let's see. Half would be. See, a full marathon is what, 23
I know
miles
that
or something. So
niece-in-law is going to run that marathon, or a marathon. And she said she's running now 10 miles when she does a.
Oh yeah.
She goes out for 10 miles.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I'd be out for 1 mile, and then I'd be sitting down.
You got that right. That would be me. My knees wouldn't let me do this at all.
My whole body won't let me, so we're good.
So anyway, but that's coming up, and then the Waco celebration and fly-in is September 19th through September 21st. You can go to the website. It's Waco owners fly their aircraft back to Troy. So the Waco aircraft come in, and I guess it's quite a spectacle to see. That's where a lot of them were manufactured. And you see these beautiful aircraft close up and talk to the people who restore them and maintain and fly these wonderful machines. They're vintage aircraft at its finest, but that's at Waco. And again, we'll have the date or the website for you, and also phone number if you're interested. And then Rock Piqua Food Truck and Music Festival. I think we went to this last year, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
But it's downtown Piqua. And it's food trucks, music. They have a stage set up and just all kinds of great stuff. It's just fun to walk around, and that's September 20th in downtown Piqua. So that's should be a lot of fun. It was last year. And then last, Harvest Wreath Workshop at Johnson Farm. So that's September 20th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's at Johnson Farm. There is a fee of $40 per participant, but for more information, we'll have the website at the end. But it's at Johnson Farm, and that should be fun too if you like making wreaths and stuff.
Well, you know what? There's one more event, because a year ago we did a program for the waffles at West Milton. West Milton Fire Department.
Oh, the waffles.
Makes waffles every Friday night from 6 to 9 o'clock. And AJ has a couple of pictures, because I just felt like I had to have a waffle Or should I say 8? But that's all right.
8?
Well,
They're small.
4 waffles for $4. Now that's pretty good.
That is.
And we noticed that if you set them on the counter, they disappear. So we had to get extra so that we'd make sure we had enough.
Yeah.
But don't forget to go to West Milton, to the firehouse there. It's only for the month of September, then they're done too.
Right.
So anyway, that was really good.
Yeah,
And
well,
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I think it's time for us to show our interview with Andy out at Hance Pavilion.
I think it's going to be great.
AJ, roll the video.
Well, here we are out at the Hance Pavilion in good old Piqua, Ohio, and I'm telling you, I'm really excited to be here, and we're here with Andy Height, who is the president of the Friends of the Hance Pavilion. And of course, those of you who know and are Piqua people, you know that the Hance Pavilion has been an ongoing conversation for quite a while. And I think Andy and his group are now leading an option to save the building, and I wanted to have him give us some updates on what's been going on and what still needs to happen. Because Andy, every place I go, they always go, "What do you know about the Hance Pavilion?"
We get that question a lot, and we're trying to get the word out, because I'm convinced in my mind that if the people in Piqua know that this is important to them, then we can move forward. And
I can tell you that for my sake, it's extremely important.
well, and a lot of people have that.
Yes.
And one of the things, before I forget, one of the things we're trying to generate are just short memories of the pavilion. So if somebody does have a favorite memory, or not just the pavilion, but a Fountain Park as a whole, go to the Friends of Hance Pavilion Facebook page and just give us a comment.
Tell it.
So we can start to put that together, because, you know, we get the questions, and this is a good thing. We've been trying to do what we could to get the word out. Right. And, you know, one of the things that's so special about this building is nationwide, there's only a handful of these left in the country.
Yes, there are.
There's very few of them, and this is one of the nicer ones.
Yes.
And it's
Absolutely
has, up until COVID, it was being used a lot, and it could still be used again. But like all old structures, it needs some work done.
Needs some maintenance.
Well, and that's a question that gets asked a lot too. Well, if we spend all this money to improve the pavilion, make it worthy of programs again, how much will it actually get used?
Well, that's, it's one of those things. I've said this to a couple people. It's like the old Field of Dreams building. If you build it, they'll come.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been the home for the Civic Band for years and years and years.
Yes.
Every Thursday night all summer.
Yeah,
all summer.
They love to come back here.
Yeah.
And I play in that group, and I've played several different places with other bands, and this is the best place to play. The acoustics in here are outstanding. So we want to try to keep this thing going. It can be used for stage play. It can be used for musicals. It can be used for all sorts of meetings, church services.
Well, I directed a show in here, The King and I. Yeah. And it was a big master production. We filled the house with an audience, and it was just a really great thing.
Yeah.
But we don't really have those kind of places in now.
There aren't, because when this was built, I'll do a little bit of history, since I'm a retreaded history teacher.
Sure, that's all right.
Let's do that.
And in charge of the history department at the library.
It's fun. In 1912, Chautauqua came to Piqua. Now, Chautauqua at that time was like Wikipedia, Google, Facebook, whatever you want to call it. It brought all sorts of entertainment and cultural things to
lots of rhetoric
to the cities.
Yeah.
And by 1919, people in Piqua realized they were putting up a big tent, and they were realizing this isn't nearly big enough. So the movement started, and it actually started with the Rotary Club. Started to push, we need to build a pavilion. And so a private-public partnership developed that created this. And the plan originally was pretty grandiose. The original plan was to be able to seat 3,000 in there. I don't think we quite get that now, although we could probably get 1,000 in there pretty easily.
Oh yeah.
It was going to have a balcony. and it was going to have a catering kitchen underneath the stage.
Oh, wow.
Now, I think like a lot of projects like this, people realize, wait a minute, that's a little expensive.
That's a lot of money.
So they started building, and the first performances in here then were 1921.
Okay.
And Chautauqua was here, and if you look out on Fountain Park, people came from all over the place, all over West Central Ohio, and set up tents, and they had some semi-permanent cabins and all sorts of stuff here for Chautauqua. They had electricity to the cabins, but you had to bring your own light bulb. They didn't supply the light bulbs. So Chautauqua, then that was a big draw for a lot of years. And then after World War I, and about 1932-33, someplace in there, Chautauqua had sort of run its course. Because this thing called radio had gotten here. And now people could get the same thing, sitting in a living room and listen to stuff from all over the country. But, you know, the pavilion didn't cease to operate after that, because all sorts of things, like some of the things we were just talking about, came here.
Like 4th of July was big.
Yeah, you know, you got 4th of July, you've got, we got pictures of different companies, or civic, Kiwanis had conventions here, all the clubs had meetings here. Because it's such a great place to put that many people under roof. And you don't have to worry about the weather. And so it was used pretty constantly. And of course the Civic Band's been, like you said, Civic Band was there for years, started as the Elks Band. And so the pavilion has been a part of Piqua and part of Fountain Park for years. In fact, backing up just to Scotia about Fountain Park, in the 1840s, this was the county fair was here for a couple of years.
Oh, wow.
And then they moved it to Troy. And it went through some different ownerships during that time. And then in the 1870s, they tried it again. And there was even a racetrack in here. There was a mile-long racetrack in here. So lots has gone on in this place.
A lot of history.
In the 50s, there were fish.
Yeah.
I remember coming here as a kid, and there was a fish pond over there.
There were a couple different ponds in there. And then you had the wading pool, and you had lots of things like that for a lot of years. The wading pool was still here when we came here in '97.
Oh yeah.
So it was still
It was nice because it was a place where kids who didn't have to buy a membership
could
just come on their bikes
and cool off
and do their thing in the park, and it was just really a nice setting.
And you know, even today you go by, there's a big playground down there, there's volleyball courts, tennis courts, you got the ball diamond. This still gets a lot of use, so the pavilion can fit into all of this.
Absolutely,
But you know, unfortunately, like a lot of things, this public-private partnership that built this, the next time that really came into play was after the winter of 1978. You guys all remember that winter. When the roof collapsed. Again, that was a private public that put the roof back on. And the city has done, you know, they've done some maintenance to keep it up, but
the fences have been added. That was part of the keeping it more safe.
You know, there are things like that have been done, but it needs a lot of work now. It's like any older structure. If it's not being used, it's got to have some work done.
So
the last time the Civic Band played here, now I guess that would have been 2019. A couple nights before our Thursday night, band manager came in, went through the back door in the dressing rooms, and about fell through the floor. So then there were plywood sheets on the floor. So you know, those things, and that happens. It's an older building. But it's such the history of this building is so rich that that it deserves to be saved.
You can always build a new building, but you can't always have the original structures. And the original structures, in my mind, are worth saving for posterity, so that other young people can see this is a facility that's been here for, let's say, 100 years eventually.
And it has been.
And it gets used. I am personally disappointed in our 4th of July now. It's a personal thing. I don't like going to a a 4th of July celebration that's all on pavement, and more like a fair or a circus than it is like the old feeling of church groups and
community event, yeah.
Right.
That's the thing.
And I remember there was continued performances all day long in this pavilion. Every hour there was a different program.
And even when it's hot, we've got there are fans in there, and it's really not. It's not uncomfortable.
No.
There's a lot to be.
I have many fond memories of Fountain Park and coming to the 4th of July and just spending
the waffles
time.
Were right over
the waffles were.
Well,
I helped with
what
the
else
waffles.
do you need if you got waffles?
I mean, it's just.
And then we'd go sit on blankets over there and watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just it's such a nice feeling, and I feel like we're so commercialized now in some things, and people will say, oh yeah, but the churches, they won't do it anymore. I don't believe that.
No.
I think if there's the location and the feeling that we had at one point, I think we could bring that back.
Well, and it's a one-day event. It's not like you're asking them to make a 4 or 5 day commitment.
Yeah.
It's something. Obviously, yes, I know there's a lot of planning before, and a lot of volunteers needed, but you get that sense of community when the people in Piqua are doing the event.
I can remember when they did the chicken along there, the barbecue chicken. Oh my gosh, there were so many chickens.
It's too close. Don't talk about that food now.
No, it's in mid-afternoon. We're ready to eat.
I get that,
but it's
so good.
It's just one of those things that in our community that we can be proud of. We're proud of our hotel downtown and the fact that the library's in that building, and that's just been a beautiful thing that we as a community saved it. Now, did we save the Opera House? No. And should we have saved it? Yes. Because it would have been now an amazing thing to have in our community. Yeah. And it's the same with this. If we don't save it now,
it'll be gone.
You will wish we had later.
Yeah.
So
and one of the things when you're talking about the library, when they were working on that project, remember the architect's drawing that they showed that block empty?
Oh yeah.
That was one of the big things that pushed that project along.
Yeah, because you could imagine. Oh, that would have been awful.
Well, and let's get back to talking about this, because I want to know what it's going to cost.
Well, that's the last engineering study that was done. And it's been 2.5 years since that last one was done. That at that point was $2 million or $2 million plus. Now the first thing that's got to be done for us to really move forward with the fundraising side of it is to figure out what's it going to cost. What do we want here? So we have to do an updated engineering study. We have to decide. It's been talked about that include restrooms as part of this facility so that you don't have the vandalism issues.
Right.
Put the entrance to the restrooms inside.
Yep.
And those sorts of things. So we've got to get a firm figure. We need to know what we're talking about. Otherwise we're just taking a shot in the dark.
So with a couple of years, and it was $2 million or so you're talking 3-4 now.
I would guess yes.
And that's not impossible.
No, it sounds like a lot.
Well, for a person, but for an organization.
If you get the lead donors, the other people will follow, and if the people in the city buy into it. This is one of the things that's always impressed me. I'm not from Piqua, but when the people in Piqua buy into something,
it happens.
It does happen.
It usually happens.
It's a great community in that sense.
Absolutely.
So that's why things like this are so helpful for the community to figure out, okay, this is what we need, this is why we need it, this is how we can use it, and let's get behind it and do it. And now, obviously, if we're looking at a $3 to $4 million project, that's not going to happen overnight.
No.
Grant writing comes into that.
That's grant writing. Yeah, there's lots of things. There's lots of grants out there.
Well, it's like even back to the plaza. I mean, the city didn't pay for the whole thing.
No.
There was money that came in from private donors. There was money that came in from grants.
Right.
I think the federal government got involved.
That was a really aggressive and unique funding project that was put together for that. And something like that could happen again.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially when you look at the fact that there's not very many of these around.
No. And the historic significance of it.
I've been making some preliminary contacts. Chautauqua as an organization still exists. They have their offices are in New York, Chautauqua, New York, and they're interested in this because there aren't many of these around.
Right.
And so I
bring Chautauqua back.
And we've used Chautauqua. It's going to be, I suppose, probably 6 or 7 years ago now. Ohio Humanities Council every summer does a series of Chautauquas around the state, and we brought one here, and the theme was World War I, if I remember right.
Okay.
And they were just tickled to death. It just made them almost giddy, the fact that they were doing this Chautauqua in the Chautauqua facility. And it was well attended for the whole week. So, there's lots of Chautauqua can come back because it isn't dead. Now the Ohio Humanities Council does it. They pick a theme every year and they travel around. So, if this was 18, 19 years ago, that was, no, 6 or 7 years ago, we could start to put our name in the hopper again for another Chautauqua. And if they don't have to come in and set up a tent and chairs and all of that sort of stuff, they're just, it makes them happy too. It's that much less work.
We've had car shows out here where they've used the stage.
You can use
There's been a lot of different things that have occurred over the years.
You think about all the stuff that happens. Again, where else can you put that many people under roof so regardless of the weather, you can still have your event?
Well, that sounds like a good thing. I think it would be good if we could go inside.
We can, and there's lots of, while we're standing here, there's lots of, it obviously needs a paint job. There's roof work that needs to be done on the, if you go around the edges, the soffit, and there's some fascia board that's beginning to deteriorate, and a lot of that stuff all costs money. And so there's a lot that needs to be done.
And it's a big structure.
It's not like it's a little one. No,
like a little house or something.
It takes a lot of work, and that goes back to we need the engineering.
You've got a lot of good going on too.
Well, and
the columns look pretty darn stable. There's a lot of it that looks stable, and then the wood needs some replacement.
The concrete is not going to go anyplace. We've got the phrase they use a lot is it's got good bones.
Yes.
And it does.
It does.
And it's a great place. It's just.
I think it's the biggest maybe area with a stage in the county.
Probably.
I mean, to bring in the number of people that you could seat in there compared to anywhere else
I suppose unless you count, of course, the Hobart Arena is a different animal.
That's completely different.
It
probably is the biggest sort of outdoor facility that has a stage, has a roof, and
it's a place where Piqua could shine.
And going back to when Chautauqua was here, they even ran a streetcar line down here to drop people off. And people would come from all over, as West Central Ohio. This was a great draw, and there's no reason why, if the marketing is created again once this is finished, that you can have this event here, you can have that event here. Community church services could be held here.
And
lots of things like that could happen. And that's what our group, they've been working for a little bit better than a year to get to where we are now. We're a 501c3, so we've got our nonprofit.
That's good.
So people donate to us. It's a tax deductible donation. And so we've got our ducks in a row. Now we just need to get some more ducks in to help us out. That was I shouldn't have said.
Donors. It makes sense. You just got to have some more donors and people who can help support the whole operation.
And I think if some other things happen, that will come.
So who's on your board?
Okay, you're going to ask me that. Chuck Peltier is vice president. Gail Staley is our secretary. Stina Alberts is the treasurer. Then Barb Spraggs, Joe Wilson, Jim Oda, Dave Lemaster, and Dave Humrickhouse.
Okay.
You got a good group?
We got a good group. It's an interesting mixed group, but it's all people that care.
And that's what you need.
That's the good building blocks to make this happen.
Absolutely.
With. So,
Okay. AJ, let's go inside. Well, now we're on stage. Are you ready to dance?
I don't dance, don't ask me.
Okay. But you are a musician, so if you'd have brought your instrument, you could have played some sort of...
And then Don could have danced.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
I'd like to done a jig or something.
I'd like to see that.
I would have too.
I would too, because I'm not doing that. But anyway, the stage floor is still pretty solid.
Yeah, it is, and this is a great. It's a great stage to play on.
And look at the seats. I mean, if you were up here as a performer, and I've seen this place filled up.
Yeah,
filled up.
You could just imagine how you would feel, with all these seats filled.
We've had civic band concerts where we haven't been full, but we've had
people bring chairs and sit outside.
And it's a great seating area out there.
I noticed though there is damage.
Yeah,
obviously we have graffiti, but we also have a door that's off.
There is some vandalism and that sort of thing because it's set 4 or 5 years.
And anytime you put a lock on something, somebody's got to prove they can get in.
They got to try to get around it. That's right.
And but it just brings back so many memories to stand in here and to see what this looks like.
Oh yeah, this is it's a great space.
Remember when Pinkwood Players did their thing on the 4th of July?
We would do shows out here,
sing. Oh yeah,
singing and dancing.
It was so much fun.
I was mouthing the words. That was.
You don't sing, don't ask him?
No. Yeah. Well.
He doesn't.
Back in the day, Janice McAfee, I was in a chorus once of a show, and she comes up to me and she goes, "Now, Don, you look good up there, but I'd rather you just mouth the words."
Say watermelon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So from that day forward, I mouthed the words.
Yeah.
That's just how it was.
I can understand.
And that was all on this stage. Too.
Yeah. This is a big stage.
Yes, it is. I would say it's almost as big as Piqua High School's.
Pretty darn close.
Pretty close. It's not as deep.
No. Oh,
right.
Gosh,
no.
And of course, there's fly space and wing space and all that. But still, as a stage to perform on, or like Chautauqua, where you have guest lecturers, and have musicians and things.
Absolutely.
This is perfect for that.
The Chautauqua folks almost got lost on here because you had one person each night. One of the funniest Chautauqua stories. You guys remember Ray Smith?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were interviewing Ray one time for one of the old Access Channel shows.
Okay.
And we were out here at the park. We were out here talking about the park, and Ray at that time was, if he wasn't 100, he was pretty darn close at that point. Yeah. And one of the things he said is he really remembered Chautauquas. He says, but no 12-year-old boy should have to sit through Taming of the Shrew.
So now, as a 70-year-old, I would enjoy that.
Well, I would too. Yeah.
But a 12-year-old boy, no, not so much.
Right.
He didn't see the humor in that a little bit. But like people like that have got these memories of this place.
Oh yeah.
And that's where we need to bring those out.
Now that we're in here, tell me what needs to be done.
Well, we were just looking. You start to see that there's roof issues on here, so the roof is going to have to.
A little bit of sagging in spots.
A little bit of sag in the spots, and the sag probably indicates that there's got to be some timber issues. But you look at the work to create.
It's amazing.
It is.
And some of this has been reinforced more recently.
Yeah. But this is, think about this is being built in 1920.
Yeah.
So this is all done with wood.
Yeah.
Basically by hand.
It's an amazing structure.
It's a great structure, and the way the back
is curved
over, that sends the sound out.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you really
somebody put a lot of thought into this when they were designing
it. And someplace I've got who's the architect is, but just don't ask me because I don't remember.
Tom Westfall used to do summer with the kids, and he did some amazing things in here. He had people flying through the audience and everything else at one point.
and again, that's just
there's a lot of availability. There's a lot of potential.
A tremendous amount. And one of the big things you can see, it's a lot of paint, a lot of structure needs to be. The wood is basically where the work is going to be.
Right.
But the other thing that you have to keep in mind on this, somebody says, well, it didn't cost that much to paint. No, probably not. But
might even get the paint donated.
But this is a 104-year-old structure, and when you attack a structure like this, what you have to keep in mind is it has to be made ADA accessible. And there's a lot of issues with these stairways coming up to the stage. That doesn't make it. The slope of the floor is likely questionable, but I think there may be some ways around that.
Some of that, I think.
The stairs coming up to these two entrances. That doesn't make it. So there's lots of things
that can be addressed.
Yeah, but those things all cost money.
You have one entrance for handicapped. Is that
I don't know what they'd say about a space this size.
This large.
That's where.
One time we had people who had wheelchairs drive up to over on this side and come in there.
And that's where, again, going back to, that's where the structural engineer comes in.
They know what they're doing.
Used to that sort of stuff and can tell us this is what you need to do.
Right.
And that's going to be the next logical step is for somebody to come in and tell us what do we need.
Yep.
We know that originally it was 2 million or a little bit over 2 million. How much more over is it going to be today? But you're right. The stage is basically
good and solid.
It's in good shape now. Originally, when the original plans for this, and I've got those at home. Originally, they wanted to seat 3,000 in this pavilion. This is probably a much smaller space than what they'd envisioned. They envisioned a balcony in a pavilion. Now, there's obviously no balcony here.
Now, if that was here, we'd have to get that out of here anyway, because just using this space would be really good.
And they wanted to put a kitchen underneath the stage.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm sure that partnership probably looked at the same thing we're looking at today. That cost how much?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather have a scene shop down there that we can bring the scenery up.
That would be all right too, with a hydraulic lift.
And then a turntable. Oh yeah, we can fix this right now.
Dream big.
I don't think you're going to be involved in this.
Not in that part.
But also, like lighting and all that, because the lighting for the stage just isn't here. And it would be better if they had regular lighting.
And that would go along with what all do we want to use it for. And then in the 50s, they added the dressing rooms in the back. We got some space back in the back.
Right through there. There's dressing rooms.
They're nice.
They're pretty good size.
AJ, I'd like you to follow us, and I'd like to turn around so that your camera will show also our seats and what we've got in, looking out from the stage.
Okay.
What it looks like. So let's switch around. When you look at this room, if you were a performer look at what you would be looking out at.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
It really is.
And I've done programs in other places, including Piqua High School, and standing on the stage there and just seeing that auditorium is something.
Yeah.
But this is so much bigger.
That's
700 seats at the high school.
It's quite a venue. You look out there, you see the park behind you. It's great.
And the beautiful
like you said, the acoustics in here are really good.
Yeah, you think about, okay, we're in here now, and people, if somebody was in the back,
they could hear.
They'd be able to hear what we're saying.
Exactly.
And so
that's part of that curving design.
That's
and all
a big
that.
part of it. And the architects 100 and some years ago, they did their job.
Yes, they did.
They did their job, and the fact that this has stood that long.
Yeah.
And it's aesthetically pleasing besides that.
It's
still for today.
When you look at pictures of this pavilion with the park and everything in the background, this is a great location.
Oh, it is.
Let's go back to your Facebook.
Okay.
Because we want our audience to be able to do that. So would you give the audience another direction on that?
If what we're asking is if you've got a memory of Hance Pavilion, you've got a memory of Fountain Park, you've got a memory of both, go to the Facebook page for Friends of the Hance Pavilion and just give us a comment. It doesn't have to be long, but just a comment about what's your memory. And I think you'd find as many different people as is going to have a different memory.
Oh, everybody, yeah.
We came here in '97, so we were able to be a part of a few 4th of Julys here.
Yeah.
And then I've been fortunate enough, like you said earlier, I've played on the stage for 2 or 3 different things besides civic band, and it's great. You sit here, like you said, you sit here and look at all those people.
Yeah, it really makes you feel good.
And this is a great place to be.
Now we need to talk too about donations, because you're a nonprofit.
We're a nonprofit.
So that means that you can make it a tax-deductible donation.
Yep.
And those donations can be done in a couple of ways. And I think one thing to consider for those of you who are in our age range, when you're thinking about if you have some extra money at the point of your demise, that you could make this a place where you could make a donation.
And the thought that would help, that would make it an ongoing, how do we maintain this place?
Right, because that's another part of the problem.
And you can, again, going to the Friends of the Hance Pavilion website, get you the mailing address, and it's Post Office Box. I'm thinking 153, but don't hold me to that.
And then, can you do credit cards?
No.
Okay. Not ready for credit cards.
No, we're.
Well, and I can tell you one thing to do. If you don't know any other way to do it, you can go to the Piqua Library, go to the local history department, and he's going to be there, and you can hand it to you.
And we'll take cash.
That's right.
And credit cards are nice. But
they cost.
They cost. Every time you swipe one of those, you lose some of your money.
Yep.
And so, the best way to make sure that we get all, this sounds mercenary, doesn't it? But to get the full donation is to either send us a check or corner one of the board members. We'll take cold hard cash too, because what I've discovered is the bank will take that.
So far
they will.
As long as you don't have any pennies in it.
Right. Oh yeah. They don't like.
You got to make it round numbers.
Yeah.
So that's important too.
Well, Andy, I want you to know how much we appreciate you taking the time to be out here and sharing the facility. I know I'm going to tell the audience too, it wasn't easy to get inside because the city is being very careful about that.
And they have to be.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if we were to be hurt in here, we could sue and it'd be a whole big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not going to do that. So, and you were able to get the key, and that really has made
paperwork is involved with that.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
We don't want to do paperwork.
So we've got, we had a special access today, and I appreciate you going to the extra effort to do that.
And glad to do that, because this lets people see, because I'm sure most people that remember the pavilion from 2019, this looks a lot different.
Oh yeah, they don't remember Be Yourself.
No, and
graffiti
and paint peeling and wood deteriorating and all those sorts of things that need to be done.
And so many leaves in here.
Well, yeah, that too. Of course, we still have the benches, but boy, those things are uncomfortable.
Yes, they are. I can remember that.
They are uncomfortable benches.
Again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. Yes. We're proud that we're able in our program to get this word out to the community. And please, members of our community, stand behind this group, because this is something for us to keep. Now, we didn't talk about one thing, because there was this whole thing with the city about having to flood the park and do all that. But I think what we need to look at is this. It's here and now, and that project probably will never happen, or if it does, it'll happen in a different way. And we just need to take care of what we have. And if this is all looking really great, they'll be even more interested in finding a different way to handle that.
Well, and for like everything, if there's a will to do something, there's a way to accomplish it.
Right. That's exactly right.
And our group appreciates the fact that you gave us some time to do this, to share with people, because that's what's important right now for us, is to get this word out. And like you said, answer the questions people have. Well, what's going on down there?
Because I hear it all. People ask me all the time, because we're doing these programs. They're always going, so what do you hear about such and such? And this is one of those things that comes up a lot.
And I get it. At the library, I get it.
I bet you do.
Every place. And well, what do you know? So we're working. Like I said, we're starting to get. We've got our organization going. We've got the paperwork paperwork done that we needed to
And you
get
got
it done.
that tax exemption, and that's good.
That's a big
thing.
one. That's a big one.
Those are
Yes.
all really great things. Well, again, thank you so much,
Glad-
Andy. I
yes.
do appreciate
Glad to
it.
do it, and maybe
good luck, more power to you.
Absolutely,
Get the job done.
yes.
will
Well,
ya?
and maybe we can come back in 6 months and have an update of where we are.
we
Yeah,
can do that,
that would-
and
we
then
can
we'll
do
come
that.
back for the ribbon cutting and the grand
There
opening.
you
There you
go.
go. That'll be great.
Won't that be great?
That would be.
That
Oh,
would
that'd be
be wonderful.
fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you're quite
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about this place.
No problem.
Okay, no problem.
Well, you know, it was amazing, wasn't it?
It was. Andy was so informative of a lot of the things that are going on with the pavilion and what needs to be done, and it just,
And you know, we're sitting on the swing looking at the pavilion, and
it's a beautiful building.
it really is very nice.
really
and
is.
from the street, you don't even know there's a problem with it.
No, you don't.
So, but when
don't.
you get inside, you do see that there is a need to bring it up. But Andy taking the time to talk to us and to let us know that it's not being forgotten. That's the best.
That's
thing
the
to take
important thing,
from it.
because it's a historic building, and not just for our community and not just for the state, but for the whole nation.
Yeah.
Because there's not very many of them left.
And they are working to get a National Register of Historic Places. They have it registered. And you know,
That'll be good.
One more thing to say is, you know, if you've got a few bucks, and it doesn't take thousands,
No.
if you got $50, $25, $10, send it in or take it to Andy at the library building. He's on the second floor in the history department.
History department,
And
yeah.
all of those little donations make for a big change in this event.
They really
this
can.
venue. So
It'll be great.
Don't forget to do that. So I think we've spent enough time. It's probably time for us to
Yeah,
go
I'll
home.
tell you what, I could almost take a nap right here on this bench.
Oh, it is.
It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
The weather's perfect. The
Yep.
temperature's perfect.
Yep.
The bench is pretty cool, and
Yep.
it's just been a good day. So we thank you all for watching us.
Yep.
I'm Don Smith,
And I'm Bill Cartwright.
and that's what's happening.